Once upon a time, the Bucks were down 0-2. Sportsline gave them just a 10.5% chance to come back and win the series. But our own Tim Doyle saw nothing but value. Our Sportsline expert never wavered. He even doubled down at times. And now they have a chance to win it in 6 games on their home floor after taking the last 3 from Phoenix. Doyle's given us a bunch of winning picks, not just Bucks money line the last 3 games, but also Bucks plus 400 to win the series following Game 2, and Giannis plus 450 to win MVP after Game 2. He's also hit on 2 of his 3 Chris Middleton props over the last 3 games. So we're going to pick some winners out of him again. Tim Doyle joining us here. Tim, got the hammer out. I know you're kind of bashful about patting yourself on the back and taking victory laps and all that stuff. Just tell us how you saw this coming when most of us saw Phoenix winning this in 5 or 6 games.
Yeah, I think, first of all, you had to look at what Phoenix had done in the postseason and take a step back. They've had a remarkable run, but they beat the Lakers without Anthony Davis. Then they caught Denver without Jamal Murray, and then, of course, Kawhi doesn't play for the Clippers. So it's like, let's pump the brakes. Now, I wasn't all in right away on the Bucks before the series because I didn't know what I was going to get from Giannis. But, Chris, all you had to do was watch Game 1. And, sure, he wore down in the fourth quarter, but I saw a chase-down block. Remember that one at the end of the first half? And I saw him moving about as well as he could have. And then after Game 2, when he had 40, I went, oh, he's back to full strength. And when you look at the Bucks and what they've done at home, they've only lost 1 game at home this entire postseason, and that was the game where Trae Young had 48 points against the Hawks. So I was like, all right, they can go get right at home, and then all they have to do is win 5 or 7. They're going to win this series, especially with this guy back to full form. So, hey, there's going to be an adjustment, right? Because the games where Giannis didn't play against the Hawks, Chris Middleton's going to take 20 shots, Drew Holiday's averaging over 20 points a game. But we're adding in one of the more unique talents in the history of basketball. Hey, Hassel, I got to ask you this. Mike Budenholzer's not catching any heat anymore after those lack of adjustments, huh?
Right, everything's right with the world, with Bucks fans. No one to point the finger at anymore, and certainly not at Giannis, who's proving that not only is he a 2-time NBA MVP, but he's going to be the finals MVP if they get this thing done. And you were on that. He was plus 450 once upon a time after Game 2. He's now minus 400. The Bucks were plus 400, now minus 400. Hopefully you got on the train when Tim told you to, because now there's no value. Are there any serious futures worth touching at this point?
No, the Bucks are going to win at home, and they're going to close out this series. But I'll tell you what. If I wasn't so heavily invested, it's kind of fun to bet the Suns, wasn't it? Because no one's picking them, right? They're not going to win the game, but you're getting a little bit of edge there with points. Only 1 game so far has the underdog gone out there and covered. It was Game 5 where the Bucks went out and won. If you want to know something, I'm not betting the Suns. But if you out there go out and bet the Suns, man, I want to hang out with you. I want to have a Long Island iced tea. I want to play some Call Me Maybe karaoke or something. Maybe we can get into I like singing Proud Mary. That's my karaoke song. I think it takes a lot of you-know-what guts to bet the Suns because they're not winning here in Milwaukee. So, yeah, you're a little late to the party right now. The reason why I bet Giannis to win the MVP was his odds were actually greater than the Bucks odds. So I got him at around 500 where the Bucks were plus 375. And after you watch them Games 1 and Games 2, if you really thought the Bucks were going to win the series like me, you were like, well, and this guy's clearly going to be the difference. I think Drew Holiday finally came around from an offensive perspective. But give Mike Budenholzer his credit. We love to blame him when things go wrong. But he made the adjustment with Drew Holiday defensively on Chris Paul. It's forced Devin Booker to go out there and put up remarkable scoring performances. But what that's saying is he's got to carry his entire squad. They're getting a little bit more balance out of the Bucks. Pat Connaughton's made some enormous shots. And right now, Hassel, I am sitting so chilly heading into Game 6.
If the Bucks pulled this off, you may even be able to move out of your mother's tin shed there that you've got going on in the Chicago area. Tim, let's get some early leans for you for Game 6. You're always on the Bucks money line. They're favored by 5. Is there any part of you that thinks they're going to, blow the Suns out in Game 6, or are you going to stick with that money line?
Yeah, because I'm so invested with the series, I need them to win this game. Like I said, if you bet the Suns, credit to you. You want to know something? Credit to you because you're going to get points in this spot. And this is really the free game Phoenix has because, all the pressure's on Milwaukee to close it out at home. But is it because now Milwaukee's got 2 chances to win one? Here's what I said after game 4, a game that Phoenix was up 9 points in the fourth quarter and lost. I said, what do you think that plane ride's like? Where they could have been heading back to Phoenix up 3-1. And this is the game where Giannis had the remarkable block. Like, they're going to be in the offseason without a title, and they're going to be kicking themselves because, what was it, maybe 4 or 5 possessions in this series, and maybe this series is already over. Like, legit over. Suns bury a 3, they close out game 4. Like, they win this series 4-2, and now you're looking at basketball in this series, and it's 3-2. So, when coaches talk about how hard it is to win a championship, how thin the margin is, if you really break down this series, it's come down to like 6 possessions, and that's why the Bucks are heading home with a chance to close it out. Tell me this, Chris Hassel. How old do you need to be hanging out in the Deer District? Because I see 18 to 22-year-old Tim Doyle there. I went to Total Request Live, which was TRL back on MTV back then, Carson Daly. And I was a senior in high school, and I was too old. How old is too old to be in the Deer District?
Well, what I do know is that no one consumes more alcohol than the folks in Wisconsin, and that is proven by every major national poll that has been run over the last 50 years. So I know that, listen, if you're old enough to drink, you're old enough to be there, but sometimes, I'm going to stop right there. Hey, you'd given us a player prop each of the last 3 games, and it was Chris Middleton, the points prop. You hit on 2 or 3 of them. Give us a prop going ahead to game 6.
Suns have had a hard time scoring in Milwaukee. Frankly, everyone's had a hard time scoring in Milwaukee. I'll throw back to the Nets series, and I actually thought the Nets would have banged up Harden and a healthy Durant was better than the Suns. That was another handicapping factor that I took into my account. But 3 games against the Brooklyn Nets, Nets averaged 89 points in Milwaukee. So I just said, all right, let's see what the Suns do when they go up to Milwaukee. You know what the Suns have not done? Not too much. 100, barely got there, and then 103. So if you bet under team total with the Suns, you've cashed both tickets in Milwaukee. So, you owe it to them. You got to go out and play it again. The Bucks realize that if they're going to win this series, they're going to have to win it on the defensive end. Now, game 5, everyone stepped up. They finally got that game where Holiday, Middleton, and Giannis all performed at a high level. Those guys gave you almost 90 points between the 3 of them. But their defense has been really good at home. It's been remarkable at home. They've only lost 1 game. The energy is going to be electric. There's going to be people doing beer pong and keg stands. I've never done a keg stand and I don't really like playing beer pong either because I feel like because I was a Division I athlete, there was a lot of pressure to be good at it. But I think that the Suns are going to have a hard time scoring. Mike Budenholzer's made all the adjustments. Give Bud his credit. He's got out there and he's turned this series around after dropping the first 2 games. Bucks in 4 straight, that is.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, there was a Suns in 4 guy, Bucks in 4 straight guy is Tim Doyle here in the NBA Finals. Tim, thank you so much. You've won us so much money lately. I don't even care that you didn't shave to come on the program today. By the way, Sportsline gives the Suns just a 23% chance to come back and win this series. They're 5-point dogs against the Bucks in Game 6. If they can win, they'll force a Game 7 on Thursday. Tim likes the Bucks money line, as always, minus 200, and that Suns team total under 108 and a hook.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.